A brief message from your friendly neighborhood editing Jordan. This is your content warning. We try to keep things PG-13 around here, however, certain among us have a proclivity towards foul language and foul humor, so viewer discretion is advised. This is your only warning. While we're at it, I should probably note that any opinions stated about a certain tabletop role-playing game are just that, our opinions. We have been longtime fans and players of the game, and so we have a vested interest in how game mechanics work, and as a hobby in our group, we enjoy yelling at each other over rules interpretations. So everything that we say is all in good fun. With that in mind, however, I will still ask, wizards, please hire us. Well, with that out of the way, enjoy the show. I haven't heard that voice in 1,000 years.
A new world.
I haven't heard it in like 30 days, I think. Something roughly like that.
Hours for the taking.
Nope, it's been 1,000 years.
Hours? How many are we taking?
Conquest.
I mean, I suppose like we're at least taking one, because that's usually generally around the time an episode runs.
Might makes right.
What are you talking about, man?
I'm gonna kill the lady this season.
He's back, guys! He swung back around!
Oh.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Nat One Podcast, aka Nope, because nope, you're not gonna want to hear what we're about to have to say. I'm Pertuset.
I'm Levi.
And I'm Jordan.
Welcome back,
I
everyone.
don't think you can kill her, though.
Hey, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. Welcome back, everyone. It's 2025 now.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
February of 2025, because we did our annual skip January for podcast to give you all a wonderful break from us so that you don't have to have us every single week on a Wednesday. But
just Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Unfortunately for you, us taking a break resulted in something kind of like ironically funny happening. Which is the Wizards of the Coast released new UA content.
They thought they could skirt it past us. They thought we wouldn't notice.
It's true. They released a lot of content since we were gone. A lot of Monster Manual stuff came out too, which I'm sure we will be discussing in the coming times.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But that's what we're going to be talking about today. Starting off the year strong with some D&D talk.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I can't even begin to remember where these subclasses are even from.
Oh yeah?
It's the one place.
If somebody could remind me real quick, that'd be appreciated.
Well, I forgot.
I also am unable to remember. It's one of the realms.
Yeah.
True. The unremembered places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not like it's the most popular setting ever in all of existence, because for some reason Wizards of the Coast really heavily pushed it for 5e to be the setting, and so now it is kind of. But yeah, these are Forgotten Realms. These are Forgotten Realms subclasses, everyone.
Yes.
Can it be popular? We've never played it.
True. Me personally, I don't understand the design decision immediately out the get-go of Forgotten Realms subclasses. Like,
I don't know, man.
I'm a little lost on that.
Half of these don't really have to be stuck in. I mean, these don't have to be stuck in Forgotten Realms at all, but like half of these could easily exist outside the Forgotten Realms, and the other half you just have to do a little bit of homebrewing lore.
Well, yeah,
to get them out of there.
As always, but it's like, what if that's the case? And also the fact that a lot of the abilities have nothing at all to do with the Forgotten Realms.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why did they name them after all this? Why did they do this with all of them? They should have just made a broad swath name for some of these.
Why is Purple Dragon Knight here?
Well, that's a Forgotten Realms, but
Forgotten Realms.
I know, but why?
Let's
Everything else is
it.
new. Other than Bladezinger. Bladezinger is also in here.
Well, I suppose let's go through it. Unfortunately, I've already read it because I couldn't contain myself. My hatred knows no bounds.
I
Oh,
have not. I saved my hatred for the camera.
like a child on Christmas. You can't help yourself and you open the presents before
Yeah,
Santa's even come down the chimney.
true. I did in fact read it before we made plans to cover this, but I probably should have had the foresight to know we would have covered this. So
It's fine. That gives a little help because you know more stuff than we do going through it first time, so you can cover those bases if we say something that's a little off or of that nature.
well, you know me, it'll be just like the Umineko clips from our best of 2024. Anytime you guys read something and go like, "That sounds pretty good," I'll say, "Keep going."
Just wait, keep going.
Just keep going.
Oh, all right. Well, who's up first?
Jordan.
Druid Bard.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's Druid
What's it
Bard. It literally
called?
says
What's
in
it
the thing.
called, Jordan?
College of the Moon Bard,
Okay.
aka Druid Bard. College of the Moon
Gerard.
traces its origins to the ancient druidic circles of Moonshae Isles. To entrusted, who entrusted the first bards of this tradition with chronicling the stories of the island and their people. Bards of the college draw from the Isles' fey magic and the primal power of the Moonwells to bolster their allies, protect the natural world, and inspire their bardic work. Such works tend to be based on well-known Moonshae myths, such as the whimsy of fairy pranksters and the viciousness of the beast, and the mysterious and the words and the mysteries of the Moonwells. So the viciousness of the beast, is that just the circle of the moon druid?
Mm.
I, for one, frankly, think this is great. I
Yeah.
think they should just start putting all of the other classes into Bard so that everyone can always play Bard and never has to play anything else for any reason.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Like they're doing here with Druid.
Oh, all right. Well, why don't you go ahead, read their features, their creature features.
Creature feature.
So level 3, you've got Moonshae Folktales. I'm not going to read the flavor text. You have Tale of Life. You invoke a tale of vitality and thriving earth. When you restore hit points to a creature with a spell, you can expend a bardic inspiration die and increase the amount of hit points restored by a number equal to a roll of the bardic inspiration die. You can do this once per turn. It says only once per turn, but that's still like, if you could do that as many times as you got bardic inspiration, that's several turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's you don't restore that much with this bonus, you know what I mean?
It's just a little extra.
Yeah, it's not very much. Even at the high levels, it's not gonna be very much. What's the highest bardic inspiration gets? 1d12?
I believe
Yeah.
it's a D12, yeah.
So like at the end game, if you're casting power word heal or mass healing word, a d12 on one more person is not that big a difference.
But I
Top
will
'em all.
maintain, we always do say that the difference between life and death in D&D is 1 hit point.
It is.
That's the difference between life and death. But you're already casting something to heal.
Yeah.
And there's better uses for bardic inspiration die. But anyway, maybe you won't use Tale of Life. Maybe you use a different one.
Next we have Tale of Gloam. Is that supposed to be gloam or is it supposed to be gloom? And it's
No,
a
it's
typo?
Gloam.
That's
It's
Gloam.
Gloam.
It's the Gloam-eyed Queen from Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You invoke a tale of mystery and secrets when you use a bonus action to give a creature bardic. I cannot read this morning, y'all. It's too early. When you use a bonus action to give a creature a bardic inspiration die, you can take the disadvantage or the disengage or hide action as part of that bonus action. I'm struggling this morning, guys. I
Yeah.
can't.
Curious. I wonder who set the meeting time. No, I'm kidding.
This is a problem during my stream yesterday too. I couldn't read for shit. It was an issue.
Dang.
So this is just give people rogue actions, but as a bard.
I don't even know if
Yes.
it's give people rogue actions or you can take a rogue action.
Well,
is what it reads
I
as.
suppose you can as well, but it just says you give a creature. So,
When you use a bonus action to give a creature a bardic inspiration die, you
oh
can
no, you're
take
right.
the
You're right.
disengage or hide action. I know it wasn't clear because I botched the read on it, but I did comprehend what I was saying.
Yeah, you're right. No, this isn't even. I thought it was you could allow others to do this. No, it's just that you, the bard, can do this.
Yes. Which I
Okay.
don't know. again, I don't see a whole lot of use in that. Disengage, maybe. Hide?
I mean, yeah, like the only thing I could
It's a
see for it
bard.
is if you're trying to be stealthy and you're not really particularly trying to do that as the bard. Because, like,
Unlikely.
I mean, if you plan on being a bard, the very next thing you're going to do on your next turn is uh either however you flavored it, but 9 times out of 10 you're going to sing a song. So like I feel like hiding isn't going to do much
Mm-hmm.
to conceal you for too long. I suppose, enemies in that 6 second interval between your first turn and your next turn, that might keep them off of you, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's that one. Next one.
All right, next we have Tale of Mirth. You invoke a tale of merriment and fey guile. When an enemy you can see within 60 feet of yourself succeeds on a saving throw, you can take a reaction to expend a Bardic Inspiration die. The creature then must roll the Bardic Inspiration die and subtract the number rolled from the save's total, possibly causing... Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So you can cause somebody to fail their save.
It's like the opposite of guidance, although a little bit better because the die is bigger. But
I'm gonna say something. Apparently, the entire D&D community just has like short-term memory loss.
is this a thing that already existed?
Yes.
Wasn't it Bane?
No, this is an actual bard feature, third level bard subclass feature.
Oh, damn.
Who had it?
College of Eloquence.
Huh.
Mm.
Unsettling words. Let me read it. As a bonus action, you expend one bardic inspiration and choose one creature you can see within 60 feet. Roll the bardic inspiration die. The creature must subtract the number rolled from the next saving throw it makes before the start of your turn.
Okay,
Yep.
so it's just a copy paste. Well, hey,
Did
that goes to
Eloquence
show
come
that it,
back?
I don't believe so.
Mm-mm.
Makes sense.
That just goes to show that it's a very popular feature that they wanted to put back in.
Creature feature. Yeah. Wanted to say that because I saw some people online talking about how awesome, cool that ability is, and they can't wait to use it. To which point
They
I was like,
can't.
"This existed.
They're
You
so
already
they're
This is
so
have it.
happy
already
that
here."
Wizards put it in the game for the first time ever now, right
Yes.
now.
I'm not even gonna go in the fact that knowledge cleric or not knowledge cleric, the what is it, lore bard also has a feature where you impose. It's not on saving throws, but it's on every other roll.
Dang.
Oh well, I guess. That one's probably the best of them all, though. Tale of Life, maybe, but if
Oh,
you're what
you say that and there's more. There's just more after that.
after
Oh, you
what?
mean of these three Moonshae folktales. That's what you
Yes,
mean. Okay,
because
I thought you
that's
meant of everything.
no, that's
That's it. We got it done in the first part
we're
of the
good.
class.
No, this is obviously the core part of this subclass, as they are at level 3, relatively weak, which I think is a good thing at least. But there's not much scaling on them either. Tale of Gloam is never going to get better no matter what level you are.
Mhm.
Tale of Life will get a bit better, but it's never going to be crazy unless you have a way. Unless you have a way to restore hit points every turn. Well, I mean, how many Bardic Inspiration die do you have? It's 4 total, isn't it, by the end of the game or something like that?
I have
I can't
no
remember.
idea. Let me
It's
check.
not a ton,
Somebody get
right?
TJ on the phone.
Yeah.
And since this is for 2024 Bard, I'll look at 2024 Bard to make sure.
Mhm.
Give
Double
me your
checking.
little table. Bardic die.
Charisma modifier.
Okay, so you can have
5.
between
Up to 5.
0 and 5.
Yeah.
If you have 0, you're playing Bard wrong.
That's really funny because it actually doesn't even say the thing it used to say in 2014 stuff where it was says you have a minimum of 1.
Mhm.
Huh?
Oh, wait, no, there it is. Minimum of once. It says
Okay,
once this time. Okay.
so 1 to 5.
Yeah. Point being there, even if you don't spend all your spells, if you find a spell that's like concentration heals every turn, you're only going to benefit from it 5 times.
Yep.
Mhm.
Maximum.
Hey, that's 60 hit points if you roll maximum on a D12.
That would be an unforgettable experience.
It's 5 if you roll minimum.
That's more likely. And then Tale of Mirth is useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Honestly, surprised they put it back into the game considering that fact.
True. But of course, they were like, you know what we should do? Screw Eloquence Bard. I got one that likes the moon.
Just
The
just sell Eloquence
moon!
Bard for parts.
Yeah. So stupid. I loved Eloquence. Anyway.
Me too.
There's still more,
Uh,
Jordan.
Oh, I know. Level
yeah.
3 is okay, and I read this and this kind of pisses me off. Level 3, Primal Lorist. You learn Druidic in one cantrip from the Druid spell list. It counts as a bard spell for you and doesn't count against the number of cantrips you know. Additionally, you choose one of the following skills: animal handling, insight, medicine, nature, perception, or survival. You have proficiency in that skill. Why has Bard's entire personality just become taking things from other classes?
I wouldn't even be as upset if the second sentence wasn't there of it counts as a bard spell.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't even care about that. Druidic I don't like because that's a very specific thing that only druids get.
Very niche, yep.
Yes.
The other thing I don't care about is that they learn another skill and get proficiency in it when the bards already get 50 million skills and
But they
expertise.
get half proficiency for everything anyway.
All druid party with one bard.
Imagine like
The bard is the
somebody
healer.
imagine a party and there's a druid or maybe a fighter that's got proficiency in animal handling and they're always the guy that does that because they're the one that has that. And they're like, man, I didn't take proficiency. I chose not to do investigation, persuasion, or anything else because I want to do animal handling because that's going to be my thing. That's what I chose to be my thing. And
Mm-hmm.
then the bard at level 3 says, hey, I have double your bonus in that now.
Oh,
It's
I'd kill
because
that party member.
It's because I sing about the moon, and the animals
Yep.
like that more.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yep.
so anyway, thanks again, wizards. Um,
Call me Sleeping Beauty the way these animals love my singing. Jordan, you can keep going now.
Uh-huh. Level 6, Blessing of the Moon Wells. You always have the Moonbeam spell prepared. Okay. As a
Yo!
bonus action, you can
Moonbeam.
cast Moonbeam without expending a spell slot. When you cast it using this feature, you glow faintly while you maintain concentration on the spell. While glowing, you shed dim light for out to 5 feet. And whenever a creature fails its saving throw against the effect of Moonbeam, another creature of your choice that you can see within 60 foot of range regains 2d4 hit points. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. You can also restore your use of it by expending level 3. Oh, a level 3 plus spell slot. That was worded weird. Yeah, no action required. So yeah, Moonbeam is a bonus action, y'all.
Yeah. Cool little modified moonbeam just for you, special just for you.
Taryn
It's
says in the
fine.
chat, Jesus Christ.
It's fine.
Yeah. It's not bad. They get their own special little moonbeam.
If you were fighting a bunch of little silly creatures, like goblins or kobolds or something, that's pretty good.
Or
If you're
changelings.
fighting, well, I mean that's because it's does what it does. But if you're fighting a bunch of small creatures to fit in the moonbeam, you're going to deal a lot of damage because they're probably going to have a very poor save, and you're going to heal people a bunch because it heals based on creatures that fail
Yep.
the saving throw, and it does not take a reaction to do so. So if you're managed to fit like how big is moonbeam? Is it 5 feet? It's not very big.
5
I
by
can't
5, yep.
remember.
So you'd only be able to fit if you're doing hexes, that would be 7 creatures.
7 creatures in it, yep.
That's still quite
And
a lot.
if you're doing squares, that would be 4 creatures.
So with just this moonbeam alone, you'd be able to heal up to 14d4 if you're fighting like lame creatures.
Yep.
Um, Not bad. And I personally actually like this precedent of restoring the use of a unique feature by expending spell slots.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
That is good. I like that.
This
Give
has like
more ways to
nothing
use the resources already available to someone.
precisely. Uh, I think this pretty much has nothing at all to do with the whole Moonshae folktales that they opened up with.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it doesn't really seem. I mean, it's Moonbeam.
Yep.
Moon.
Moon meme.
Moon.
Next.
Level 14, Bolstered Folktales. The power of your moon-shaped folktales improves when you use your Tale of Life or Tale of Mirth. Okay, so it does improve. You can roll a d6 and use the number rolled in place of expending a bardic inspiration die. I lied, it doesn't improve that much. And when you use your Tale of Gloam, you can also teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see as part of a bonus action. So you get,
Free Misty Step.
yep.
The first one isn't that bad if you're thinking of it in the case of like you've expended all of your Bardic Inspiration die, so that means you can just keep using it forever. It just sucks. But you can just keep using it forever. Nothing will keep you from doing that. But yeah, no, bringing it down to a D6 is kind of duty. On top of what we already talked about with like Tale of Life, where it's like, how much can a D12 really do? Now you're cutting it in half. So
This enemy, he just used one of his several multi-attacks to do 36 damage to me. Don't worry, I got you. 3 HP.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. This seems that's the end. That's the end, by the way, audience, if
Yeah,
you're not
that's
keeping up
it.
at home. This seems a very confused class. I think if they stuck with the moonbeam, it'd be cool.
Build everything around the moonbeam.
If they're gonna do it. These folktales things are pretty stupid.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
understand.
understand. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, no, you go.
I understand what they're going for. Because it's like it is in concept, it's a very bardy thing. Because these are like special bards that specifically have worked with these druids, so they like know all of the oral tales of these druids, and so that's what the folk tales are. Um, but
Yeah.
like I feel like the only the only way they're showing any actual relation to that, and this honestly might be why the level 3 thing even exists, is they were like, oh, we've got to have it connected to druids somehow. Let's let them learn druidic. And they can have a druid spell. Like, if you removed that feature from this, there in no way would really be any recognition that it's actually connected back to that besides the moon being a thing that both groups share in common.
Yeah.
Well, and I would also say, I feel like, and I don't know the Forgotten Realms stuff very well. I feel like just thematically, it's kind of confused with itself because I don't like it mentions in the first flavor text paragraph about like Fey magic and primal power of the moon. Like, I'm not getting anything Fey from this. And I don't think, like, you kind of gotta pick one. You can either do the druid thing or the Fey thing for this because I don't think that it's the same, and I'm just confused how this works.
Fae is like a buzzword.
I know, and it
Um,
annoys me because I like the Fey mythology.
yeah, you're the
Mm.
sucker. You're
Yeah,
the
and I
when they
get
say
burned every time
Fae,
because it sucks.
when they say Fae, people come. They come to see. I can't wait to see what awesome Fae thing this is. Every single time. Also, may I say on that note, because I forgot about the whole Fae thing, College of Glamour already exists in 2024.
I
That is the
know.
Fae Bard.
I don't understand why they needed to make another kind of Fey bard, but also not like it's.
For the
I
reason
don't
Pertuset just
understand the.
explained. It's the buzzword. It'll get people to come and play
I
it because
know.
they'll be
It
like,
annoys
"Ooh,
me
it's cool.
now.
It's got Fae in it."
I love Fae, I love Fae, I love Fae. Y'all are missing out on oozes. Y'all gotta switch up your allegiances.
Ooze Bard.
See what I'm saying?
But there's no
The
reference to it other than
booze.
like the flavor text is my thing. I'm like, what the heck?
You could.
Yeah.
They really are missing out. I want to be able to play the booze, man. I want to.
All right.
Oh.
Nothing stopping you, just play a plasmoid.
Well,
No,
that's
that's not. No, I want it to be a subclass. Wizards. We'll be nice to you if you make the booze real for like maybe an hour one day when we.
For only an hour for a one shot. We can play a one shot.
Oh.
that'll work.
Okay. Who wants to read the I was gonna try to make a funny conjunction of the words, but it would just be the same.
Well, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm reading the cleric.
Yeah.
Knowledge domain. This existed in 2014, so this is a return of a
Yes.
knowledge domain.
And
Cleric.
immediately, I don't know how this is Forgotten Realm specific, but let's see.
Yeah.
The knowledge domain values learning and understanding above all. Clerics who tap into this domain study esoteric lore, collect old tomes, delve into secret places of the earth, and examine the process of the mind itself. So clerics, but with wizard flavor. Gods of knowledge vary from masters of arcane magic, wizards, to patrons of craft and invention. To them, knowledge is more valuable than material wealth, and desire to learn is an act of worship. Libraries, universities, and other institutions dedicated to education, wizards, also draw on the power of the knowledge domain. On Faerun, clerics of the knowledge domain worship deities of learning and ingenuity like Ogma and Gond. Other powerful deities such as Asmodeus, Mistra, Savra. I know that one, she's from Baldur's Gate 3. Savras, Jurgle. I know that one, he's from Baldur's Gate 3. Also count clerics of the knowledge domain among their devotees, as do less common divinities such as Denir, the
Thing.
scribe of Ogma. Ogma gets to have his own deity as his scribe? He's already a deity. And Azuth, servant of Mistra. Azuth is... Dang. They got a multi-tiered system in Faerun. The gods
Hmm.
got servants who are gods.
They want to make sure there's like a fast track so that way they don't want to leave the organization.
Yeah, apparently.
You want to have growth in your career.
Well, they gave us a handy dandy little thing that tells us what all is different about knowledge domain between this and 2014. I'm not gonna read the little flavors for them though. I'll just read what they are because we're gonna read those things like we did for the bard. So the blessing of knowledge is new. Knowledge domain spells have been updated. Mind magic is new. Unfettered mind is new. And divine foreknowledge is new. So basically, it seems like they have just reworked the entire subclass because like 90% of this says this is a new thing now that's in it.
Yeah.
So at level 3, you get blessings of knowledge. You gain proficiency with one type of artisan's tool of your choice, and 2 of the following skills: Arcana, History, Nature, or Religion. And you have expertise in those 2 skills. You get new knowledge domain spells, which are as follows. At level 3, you get Command, Comprehend Languages, Detect Magic, Detect Thoughts, Identify, and Mind Spike. Level 5, you get Dispel Magic, Non-Detection, and Tongues. Level 7, you get Arcane Eye, Banishment, and Confusion. And level 9, you get Legend Lore, Scrying, and Synaptic Static. Okay, here's the new stuff. Mind Magic at level 3.
On
As a
level three.
magic action, I forgot that was a thing in 2024. As a magic action, you can expend one of your channel divinity to manifest your magical knowledge. Choose one spell from the knowledge domain spell table that you've prepared. As part of that action, you can cast a spell without expending a spell slot or needing material components. Wow.
That's interesting.
That's kind of
I'm not
strong.
opposed.
No, that's pretty stupid.
Is it?
Yeah.
You could cast a level 9 spell with that for free.
It's not a level 9 spell, it's you're a 9th level cleric. Those are 5th level spells.
Oh no, that's true. Yep.
I mean, it's all
But
right.
still, I actually think that I mean, the material components thing is kind of a take it or leave it, but the not expending a spell slot, that could be useful.
It helps with utility at the very least.
Mhm.
Personally, after having played a 1 to 20 class that has a channel divinity and like barely ever using it and constantly trying to find ways to use it so that I expend it, I'll welcome it.
True, but I feel like you guys aren't comparing it to the counterfactual. What you're losing from this feature is not having something better. This is your level 3 feature that is your defining subclass feature. This is your folktales from before,
That's
right?
true.
This is the thing that you do for the next 3 levels at least till you get another feature. And like it's just a free cast. What, twice a day?
Well, At level 3, I'm not even sure. It might just be once, because I don't know how long
Yeah,
it
I
takes
can't
for you to
remember how
get your
many.
second channel divinity.
Yeah.
Let me look.
Taryn says it's once.
once. And even at that level, up until your next feature, the only one you'll be able to cast are the level 3 and 5 ones,
It
command,
is it
comprehend
is
languages.
twice. For 2024 cleric, they get two
Okay.
right at the beginning. Yep. So it might be that way for 2014 as well, and we're just misremembering, but I didn't think it was. Um, but yeah, they get two, and then at level 6 it goes up to 3, and then at level 18 it goes up to 4. So
And also, if I'm not mistaken, at least a good chunk of the ones here are also ritual spells. Detect magic, detect thoughts, identify,
yep,
comprehend languages, non-detection, and tongues.
But if you would need it to not be cast ritual, then you still wouldn't be out the spell slot.
true. I agree with both points. I do think Pertuset's point is far more pertinent though, of like this is in fact your level 3 feature, and all it is you get to cast 2 free spells a day, and they are pretty utility spells. None of these are like you'll probably be using them in the middle of a combat either,
Not a
so
free fireball.
it can't really help you if you're in like a super sticky situation where you need to get something, you need to kill something. It's more do these at your leisure throughout the day, because it's for instance, level 3 the ones you would be able to use before level 6 would be command, which that can be used in combat,
Mhm.
but you have to just be kind of intelligent about how you use it. Comprehend languages, not a combat spell. Detect magic, not a combat spell unless it's like very specific. Detect thoughts, not a combat spell. Identify, not a combat spell. Mind spike is a combat spell. Dispel magic could be, but again, very specific combat spell. Non-detection, not a combat spell. Tongue's not a combat spell. So what? 3 of those really could feasibly be used. One of them definitely used in combat regularly.
One of them exclusively, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'd be saying is like, does this begin the fantasy of being a knowledge domain cleric? Does this feature accomplish that goal? That's my problem with it.
I think
Compared to the
they
folk
should have
tales,
given them a dang arcane recovery like the wizard has, where you could get spells back on a short rest.
that wouldn't be bad.
Oh, that wouldn't be a bad idea, yeah.
Because if they're going for wizard cleric, which is what I've always considered knowledge domain to be, is like wizard cleric basically.
Mhm.
Just give us a little crossover. If all the gods who are patrons of wizards have these clerics, maybe those gods are like, yeah, we can give you a little wizard juice, and you can do the same thing they can do. So
Yeah. That's my complaint. It's a fine feature, I suppose. In the same complaint, another pillar of my complaint there is where's the scaling for this? You know what I
yes,
mean?
yep.
Mhm.
This again, if this is your core subclass feature, which it's a pretty lame one, then how does it make you? At what point does it become stronger and make you feel even cooler for being able to do this?
Well, you get more because you get more channel divinities.
That is true. You'll get more channel divinities and you will access more spells later on that you can use it with.
Will you, or does it only work for knowledge domain? It only works for knowledge domain. Well, yeah, you will get more spells
Yeah, you'll
you'll
get
go up to
from level
seven
7
9.
and
and level
9.
9, yeah.
Yeah.
So so. I just think if they had spent more time on it, they could have made something more unique and cooler.
Yes. I agree wholeheartedly with your point. I think this would have been a welcome addition to the class because it's not a bad thing. It's just free spells. But I agree that it shouldn't have been like the level 3 keystone.
Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah.
It does not feel important enough to be the level 3 keystone.
All right, next
Next
one.
thing, unfettering mind at level 6. You gain telepathy out to 60 feet. When you use this telepathy, you can simultaneously contact a number of creatures equal to your wisdom modifier. Additionally, if your total for an intelligence check is lower than your wisdom score, you can use that score in place of the total. That's pretty cool.
I like the additionally part. The telepathy, I'm like, I don't know.
The telepathy's meh. I'm more so like, yeah, that's cool that they're letting you use your wisdom in place of your
Yeah, the score
intelligence.
swap is cool. I don't know. The telepathy could come in handy.
Well,
It
it's
could.
handy.
It's very situational.
For me, again, well, of course, I don't exactly know what the fantasy of a knowledge domain cleric is because I've not ever really wanted to play one.
Mm.
But I mean, is telepathy part of that fantasy? Is that what you want as
Mm,
that?
I suppose it could be.
Because it makes me feel like what is that great old one warlock that has that same
True.
ability?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is that the one?
I think it's Goo Warlock, and then I want to say it's Aberrant Mind Sorcerer
He's
that has something
Yes.
just
similar.
he's just
Yes.
so smart because of his faith. You don't get it. He can brain blast into your mind
I
and
don't like it.
telepathy in there.
I'm not a huge fan of that. In fairness, I'm looking at the 2014 knowledge domain as well. I suppose I should have brought this up in the first point. Um, the knowledge domain 2014 first level, you get more proficiencies, and your proficiency bonus is doubled in the ones that you choose. Which this have that at the beginning as well?
I
For
didn't
two
see
of
it.
them, yep, you
Yep,
get two more proficiencies and there you
yep.
have expertise in them.
Same way that the channel divinity for not for knowledge domain was as an action, choose one skill or tool for 10 minutes. You have proficiency with it,
Oh, that's interesting.
and then another one at sixth level was read thoughts.
I do feel like the 2014 fits the flavor so far better because
Hmm. It's
knowledge cleric, you
weaker.
have knowledge in a lot of things.
Yeah, it's a weaker thing than the 2024 one, but it's or I guess 2025 technically, but it fits flavor more, but it's weaker. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
which do you go? Which one do you take?
Which way?
All right,
TTRPG man.
one more feature.
Divine Foreknowledge at level 17. This is your big one for the subclass. This is your subclass capstone before your class capstone.
11 levels later.
11 levels later. As a bonus action, you magically expand your mind to the possibilities of the future. For 1 hour, you have advantage on d20 tests. Once you finish this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. You can also restore your use of this feature by expanding a level 6 spell slot. No action required. I feel the same way about this that I do about the mind magic.
I also still
It's
heavily object to it being called a D20 test because that's really stupid.
I
it
don't not welcome it. I just don't think it feels like a level 17 thing.
No.
it's strong. It's
Free
what's the
advantage
what's the spell that also does that?
for one
Ninth
hour.
level.
Is
Is
this
it
the
Oh, I
class
know what
that
you're
needs
talking about.
advantage, though?
What is that
true?
spell?
Good point, Jordan.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. 1 second, I'm looking for it.
Is it foresight?
I think it's foresight.
Yeah. In comparison, the level 17 feature of Knowledge Domain 2014,
Yes, it's foresight.
okay, is called Visions of the Past. You spend 1 minute meditating or in prayer, and then you receive visions. And you can do this feature as many times as your wisdom score. Oh, minutes equal to your wisdom score. Okay. Object
Funnily
reading.
enough,
What?
actually, in 2024, foresight was changed. So 2014 foresight works the same way, although it's 8 hours instead of an hour.
Hmm.
Where the target of the spell, which can be yourself, has advantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. All any other creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target, and they can't be surprised. But in
Hmm.
2024, they changed it for the duration. You had no, okay, sorry, I read it wrong, but it technically it has been changed. You just have advantage on D20 tests, so it's not just attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. It's anything that's a D20 test, and other creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against it. Last 8 hours, yeah. I had read it at first, and I had thought that it was just everything had disadvantage against you, and they axed the advantage part, but they have not. I just read it wrong.
They also just slash the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the rest of the 17th level feature, you can do object reading. Hold an object as you meditate, you see visions of the object's previous owner. After 1 minute, you learn how the owner acquired and lost the object, as well as the most recent significant event involving the object and that owner.
It's pretty much legend lore,
Yeah.
which you get
And,
as just a cleric as a spell for this domain.
Mhm.
and then another part of this feature is area reading. You can meditate and see visions of recent events in your immediate vicinity. It says a room, street, tunnel, clearing, or the like up to a 50-foot cube. And it goes back a number of days equal to your wisdom score.
It seems to me that they're kind of doing not as hard, but a little bit of what they did with Ranger, the base class of Ranger, where they're like, there are just spells that can fill some of these abilities that they had. So we'll just give that to them.
Yeah, I
Which everyone already knows we are not particularly fans of that.
no. I'm upset with this one. Again, I don't fully know what the fantasy for this is. Cleric's always been not great though
I
as
don't
a
think that they
fantasy
know what the
fulfiller.
fantasy is either.
Exactly.
We're trying to make a new one. We're
Well,
just
and
throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks.
I still question this entire mechanic because why does cleric need advantage?
True, which is a very good point. They really don't.
Like, because like advantage is nice. Don't get me wrong. Like any class, but like there's not really a mechanic within the cleric
The vast
structure in
majority of
any
cleric damage
subclass.
usually comes from saving throws.
Yeah,
In
that's
fact,
what I'm questioning. I'm like, what do
um,
you mean?
I don't even think, if I remember correctly, although they might have changed it for 2024, I'm not sure. But aside from homebrew, I don't actually think that the cleric can even get cantrips that are target attack cantrips. All of the cleric cantrips are saving throw cantrips. I put in one or two for you guys that were homebrew that gave target because I didn't like that. I thought they should have at least one that was target attack. But yeah, no, like Guiding Bolt is one of the few spells they have that is
Yeah.
actually like a roll to hit that is frequently used by cleric.
And I was gonna say chill touch, but that's an Atlas thing, not a cleric thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's the point of advantage then?
I don't know.
Doesn't it make you feel nice though to see that you have advantage for an hour and you can be happy that like you have advantage on everything forever unless there's any incurrence of disadvantage for any reason, in which case you
True.
don't.
Very
Now
true.
I would be delighted. Last campaign, I wouldn't give a shit because I don't have any use for it.
This would be better. I would appreciate it more as a 17th level thing if they were like, you always have advantage, even if something else is incurring disadvantage as well. You just like override it and always have advantage for that hour, but they're not. They're not
Or
doing
you
that.
know what else would be good is if you could bestow this feature onto
True.
an
If you
ally.
could put it onto an
Yes.
ally, it would be very good as well.
Because
Like
most of the
the
time,
spell, Foresight.
yeah, a lot of the time, the fantasy fulfillment of a cleric is to be a support caster.
Yes,
Yep.
and do things with other people.
Whoops. I messed up. I don't know what I'm doing again.
Oh,
Oh,
well.
yeah. And I also hate that this subclass has no identity, but that's a failing of really clerics as a whole because
What?
they
They
get three
worship
whole features.
Mistra.
It's sorry, I forgot. Or Azut, the servant of Mistra.
With the servant of Mistra.
Don't forget
Mistra's
about
actually
Azut.
too good for them. Mistra.
Yeah. She would never, man. Those freaks. Anyway. Um, but
Oh.
yeah,
See,
there's only
I
three
don't know what you
levels.
mean about clerics having no identity, because I mean, as long as you just extensively homebrew a subclass and then have a very, very detailed and written out backstory with a goal to become an extra planar deity and become a lich, it's super powerful. And then it's even more powerful if you just abandon the class altogether and switch to a martial. It works perfectly.
Yeah. You're gonna hate the thing I say next the most, aren't you?
I don't know.
And then at the end of the day, when in game in the play, didn't play very different, did they? Any three of
That was
them.
the joke. The hoops that we had to jump through to make them interesting.
But they still didn't in combat. And now interesting. They all
No,
played
in
the
combat
same.
it was not interesting.
They all
Well,
played
no,
the
Arlo
same.
was interesting in combat, but not because her
That
cleric
was-
Not because they
levels.
were a cleric, because they were actively trying to not be a cleric.
They were
Yep.
multi-classing, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, great characters, but the format of cleric is just not great. I
Yeah,
am
I'm here for the cleric slander. I too fell for the fantasy of I want to help and support my friends, and then you get on the battlefield and you're like, oh, I can't really do anything until they're all dead.
yeah, it's just
Really, really hyping me up for next campaign, guys.
You're gonna have so much fun. It's great.
yeah, you got this.
Uh,
Okay. I want to read the next one, and then we'll probably have to call it, and we'll probably just have to chunk this out because we have so
oh,
many
oh
thoughts.
wow, yeah, I didn't even notice we'd gone for that long.
I
Wow.
know.
We had a lot of things to say.
But this one, oh boy, I imagine we'll spend some time on this one. Um,
This
Purple
is the
Dragon
funny
Knight.
one. Yep, this is the funny one.
The new fighter subclass, which if somebody else while I'm reading this wants to pull up the old fighter one
I
to read
got you.
it, comparison, yeah. Let me read the flavor text just because it's all about Forgotten Realms, so I'll do it. Herald the majesty of amethyst dragons. The purple
Ooh.
dragon knights are paragons, that's me, of valor and leadership who partner with amethyst dragons. Such knights aspire to protect the innocent and rally fellow adventurers to the cause of justice and freedom. Sounds like Paladin with extra steps. Although the purple dragons were originally founded in Cornmere, new recruits are enlisted from any realms where chivalry is in abundance, including the Silver Marches, Damara, and Chestnut? Oh, Chesenta. Characters with this subclass are special among the Order. Wow, they outright said, you're special. Unlike most purple dragons, who partner with amethyst dragons, who've already reached adulthood, a purple dragon knight character psionically bonds with an amethyst dragon hatchling. This bond irrevocably transforms both dragon and knight, allowing the dragon to grow in strength alongside its partner knight.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is this is they tried to combine fighter with the good monk subclass that they released a while ago. That was you got a cool dragon companion.
I was
Oh
thinking
well, no,
the
ranger,
Ranger,
ranger, not
yeah,
monk.
Drake
Yep,
Warden, yep.
ranger.
This huge originally came from Skag.
Yes, Sword
Um,
Coast Adventurer's Guide.
I'll read the little blip. Knightly Envoy is a new, well, actually, it used to be Royal Envoy, and it's been moved to level 3. Purple Dragon Companion is a new feature. Dragon Rider is a new feature. Rallying Surge, formerly Inspiring Surge, want to make get that clear, is a little different. Amethyst Pinnacle is a new feature, and Enduring Commander is a new feature. So again, for the most part, entirely changed.
Yep,
This is
got
just
it.
how to train your
Replace
dragon.
it with other stuff.
Hmm.
I will say, just from obviously we haven't read what it actually does yet, but from the sound of it, it sounds a lot cooler than what it previously was.
Yes. I've heard some people complaining online already about this, but we'll talk about it as we get into it. And I don't know very much either about the lore because I'm not in on all that.
Yeah.
First up, level 3, Knightly Envoy. You learn one language of your choice, which you choose from the language tables in the player's handbook. Additionally, you can cast the Comprehend Languages spell, but only as a ritual. Intelligence is your spellcasting ability for it.
Druidic.
True.
Everybody in the party speaks druidic, and the druid is pissed.
Druid's the only one that can't. Okay. Anything going on over there in 2014 land on that? That one used to
I don't
be
I don't
Royal
think they
Envoy.
Yeah, no, the being able to cast the spell is entirely new.
Okay.
They didn't have that at all. In fact, I don't think they had any spell casting.
Mhm.
Which it does say like you can only cast it as a ritual, but honestly, that's like almost even better
It's
than just
infinite,
Yeah.
than just having it to like cast once or twice a day. So let's see, what was it?
Royal Envoy was its former form, and it was a
Yep.
different level.
Which you choose, you one language. So they got proficiency in the persuasion skill.
Mm.
Or if you were already proficient in it, you got to choose between animal handling, insight, intimidation, or performance. And you got expertise in. Actually, no, you only got expertise in persuasion. So even if you already had proficiency in persuasion, you gained it in persuasion. Is what that used to be. So it was like, we make you really charismatic because you're a royal envoy,
Yeah, you're the
instead of
diplomat.
this one, which is you're kind of like knowledgeable about languages because you're a envoy.
Yeah. Same core reason, different outcome. I
Yep.
have nothing against it yet.
This
Makes
one I
sense.
think is far better utility wise.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Level 3, new feature. Purple Dragon Companion. You're bonded with an MS Dragon hatchling. It's your companion, uses the Purple Dragon Companion stat block, which we will get to.
Barney?
Yes.
Oh
It's
my god, I
him.
gotta play one of these now and name the companion Barney.
Yeah. The Purple Dragon is friendly to you and your allies and obeys your commands. The dragon in combat. I always love summoner-based classes like this or pet-based classes like this because their features are like a book. Uh, In combat, the dragon acts during your turn. It can move and use its reaction on its own, but the only action it takes is the dodge action, unless you take a bonus action to command it to take an action in its stat block or some other action. If you have the incapacitated condition, the dragon acts on its own and isn't limited to the dodge action. Simple. That's pretty basic. That's pretty par for the
Yep.
course for that sort of
Yep.
stuff. If the dragon companion has died within the last hour, you can take a magic action to touch the dragon and expend a use of your second wind. The dragon returns to its life after 1 minute with all its hit points restored. Sure. Otherwise, you can perform a 1 hour ceremony to resurrect the dragon. This ceremony can be performed as part of a short or long rest.
Oh wow. Okay.
Interesting.
Never gone.
Yep.
Find familiar.
No consequences ever for it. I
Yep.
mean, I sort of understand it because it seems the subclass is based around that, but like even then, that seems remarkably easy.
I mean,
Yeah.
it would really kind of blow if the entire core feature of your class
would,
died
but,
in the
like,
first encounter.
That'd be
all I
really
want
funny.
from
Oh
it-
my gosh.
All I want from it is just be like, yeah, it works like Revivify, so go get 300 gold pieces worth of something to do it with, not just like for free. Do it for
True.
free at your long rest.
Okay. If I was into the whole pet-based subclasses, which I'm not, but if I were, I would want your bond between the two of you to be important.
Mm-hmm.
So if I treat this thing like a punching bag and let it die every combat and bring it back and
Yeah.
say, hey, go walk into that fire, welcome
Yep.
back to life, go die, I would want there to be some consequences.
Yep.
It's like all of our horses.
Exactly. And you just don't get that in any of these.
Yeah.
And it's because they're scared of RP. Anyway.
Well,
Perhaps
I feel like if
having
you...
a longer, perhaps having a longer stint between when it can be revived as well, not just maybe like the next long rest, but maybe you have to wait like a week or something like that would make it a little more impactful too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was going to say, you also, I'm assuming that they have written this with the assumption that people would play and not be horrible and like would write their character to have a bond with their dragon and like would not want their dragon to die and would try to
Well.
not make their dragon die. But then you know for a fact a lot of the people, especially on like the subreddits and
I
stuff,
was
would
about
be
to
like,
say,
yeah, I have an immortal dragon.
how can I
now."
best min-max my character with this dragon that doesn't die? Well,
Exactly. So I think it's written for people that would care about their pets and not want them to die and take special care to like not have to use that feature of it being immortal. But then you have the other side of the coin that's like, hell yeah, cannon fodder dragon.
What's the thing we just did last night where like I was like, I need something that's a target. I need a
Yep,
pocket
yep,
rat
yep.
to sacrifice.
Yeah, we already have precedent for this. And in our previous campaign, one of Pertuset's characters got a pet specifically to kill it.
Yep. For specific situations.
It was a pocket rat. Everybody should invest in one.
I had a cat, but it ran away.
Oh, you can't put that in your pocket. You gotta have a pocket rat.
That's implying
But-
you were intending to use the cat for the
I
same
didn't
purpose
want to
as the
use the
pocket
cat for the
rat.
same purpose. It was a bit. I
Not a
actually
bad
wanted the pet
idea.
cat.
The cat is not a bad idea because it's got 9 lives, so you're getting more bang for your buck.
True.
Anyway,
I kind of figured that the cat would be like Ren's pet, and then somebody, probably Caiaphas, would use it for various purposes.
I would never.
Oh.
Pocket rat.
Let's get into Purple Dragon Companion, the
Beat
stat
rat.
block. AC is 13 plus your int modifier. HP is 4 plus 4 times your fighter level.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
What does it say there in parentheses? Am I losing my mind?
The dragon
dragon
has a
has
number
a
of
number
hit
of hit
dice,
dice.
D6 equal to your fighter. That's if you want to roll them instead of just times it by your fighter level.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Unless
So
they-
rolled
okay.
versus fixed HP.
Yep.
Anyway, its strength is 16, its dex is 16, its con is 12, its int is 8, its whiz is 13, its charisma is 10.
I don't like the way they've done the layout for the stats.
Get used to it. That's the new way.
It looks weird.
It's very confusing.
It's a lot of numbers all next to each other, but anyway.
Yeah.
It has dark vision and a passive perception of 11. Dark vision is 60 feet. Languages, it understands the languages you know, and a telepathy of 30 feet. It has no CR, so your friends can't kill it to level up. Um, Traits: amphibious, it can breathe both air and water. Stalwart bond, add half of your proficiency bonus, rounding down, to any ability check or saving throw the dragon makes. That's not bad.
Not bad.
Actions it can do: rend, melee attack roll, +3 plus your intelligence modifier. It's a 5 foot reach, and the hit is 1d6 plus your intelligence modifier, force damage.
Johns.
Crazy.
You said
The
intelligence.
intelligence. Force damage is pretty crazy for a melee attack, but anyway.
Yeah.
Next one is Gravity Breath, 2 per day. Con saving throw DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence modifier. Each creature in a 15-foot cone. Failure, the target is either pulled up to 15 feet straight toward the dragon or pushed 15 feet straight away from the dragon, your choice.
Okay.
And that is a pet dragon.
He's got some utility to him.
At level 3, that's pretty alright.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
can move
that's
things
not bad.
around.
At level 3, that's pretty alright.
He can talk to you.
He hits pretty hard,
Yep.
depending on what your int modifier is at this point.
It does that is something to be mentioned though, is it does kind of make the fighter a little mad
Yeah,
because they're
this is a
telling you to
weird
invest in
fighter.
intelligence.
I would really like to see somebody play this where they get a 20 in intelligence and every other stat they don't. I would be very interested to see how that works out because like there's nothing else you can do in that case. Like you're gonna be really weak. Okay. What did 2014 version get any other level 3 feature at this point?
Let me look.
Yeah.
Oh, also, by the way, Royal Envoy is a 7th level feature.
Of course, it's very
Oh.
strong. It has to be.
Yeah, no, they only have one 3rd level feature, which is not present in this one at all, called Rallying Cry, which is when you use your second wind, you can choose up to 3 creatures that are within 60 feet that are allied with you, and each one regains hit points equal to your fighter level.
Yeah,
So
that's
completely different direction.
Yes,
Yeah.
and pretty terrible because that's
Yeah.
a level 3 feature. That's
not very good. The scaling on that's also pretty bad because you'll
Yeah.
get to 20 HP at level 20 when most people are a lot higher than that.
Yeah.
And the
Yep.
damage is a lot higher than that. Okay, level 7, Dragon Rider. You and your purple dragon gain the following benefits. Dragon Mount. The dragon grows to medium size. You can use the dragon as a mount if you are medium or smaller, but while you're riding it, the dragon falls at the end of a turn if it's airborne, and the only thing holding it aloft is its fly speed. It takes you only 5 feet of movement to mount or dismount the dragon. And improved gravity breath. The dragon's gravity breath becomes a 30-foot cone. When the creature fails a saving throw against that gravity breath, the creature also takes 2d6 force damage.
I was gonna ask if the breath attack got upgraded. All right, that's cool.
And one more thing, shared second wind. When you use your second wind to regain hit points, the dragon also regains hit points equal to 1d6 plus your fighter level. And it regains one use of its gravity breath.
That's pretty all right.
I
Yeah.
dig it.
Very
Not
strong. Very strong connection between the two of them. We already know what happened level 7 to the 2014 version, right? It's only the
That's the
envoy.
Royal Envoy. Yep. That's
Okay. Moving on then, level 10, Rallying Surge, which was formerly Inspiring Surge.
Yep.
When you
Which
use
is
your...
that is the level 10 feature of
Okay.
the old one.
At least they kept it together. When you use your action surge, you can choose up to 3 allies within a 30-foot emanation originating from you. If they're gonna say emanation, they don't need to say originating from you, but whatever.
Yeah.
Each ally can take a reaction to use one of the following options. Advance. The ally makes one attack with a weapon or an unarmed strike. If your purple dragon is one of the allies using advance, the dragon can make one rend attack. Retreat. The ally moves up to half its speed without provoking opportunity attacks. Pretty good for 30 foot. Yeah, that could, in theory, get the whole party, depending on if you're all in within 30 feet of the fighter.
Yeah.
That's one free attack for everybody, or one free move away for everybody.
The only thing that has changed about this one is the retreat. The advance was what the feature was before.
Ah, okay.
And they added the retreat to it. So you could just give people a free attack as a reaction, but now they also allowed basically a disengage as well, which I do think is nice.
Mhm. And that the trigger is still when you use your action surge?
Yes.
Okay. All right, yeah, pretty fair then. Can't,
It
I'm
is
not too upset
worded
about that.
better. They didn't use the stupid emanate thing. It
Yeah,
says you
that
choose a creature within 60 feet of you that is allied to you. Also, it's a bigger radius. I didn't even realize that, but yeah, it's 60 foot on the old one. This one's 30 foot.
true, but this is 30 foot, and you choose up to 3 allies that benefit from it.
Yes, this is only one. Yep. So yeah,
Okay.
they gave it more people, they shortened the range, and they gave an extra thing to it.
I'm not mad at that trade-off.
Yep.
No, honestly, I just wish the old version had this.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Moving on then. Level 15 Amethyst Pinnacle. That's crazy because you're level 15, not 20. You and your purple dragon gain the following benefits. Superior mount. The purple dragon grows to large size, and both its speed and its fly speed increase to 40 feet. Additionally, the dragon no longer falls at the end of a turn if airborne while you're riding it. Tandem attack. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can forego one of your attacks to command the dragon to make one rend attack. Alternatively, you can forego two of your attacks to command the dragon to use gravity breath.
Okay.
Me as a level 20 fighter using two gravity breaths and then action surging to use another gravity breath.
Two more gravity breath.
Yeah. That would be crazy in 6 seconds.
That would
The
be
dragon.
bonkers.
Gravity breath, gravity breath, gravity breath, gravity. I don't even
Although
want
it's
to know
not
how it
really
would.
that good. It's
No, but it'd be really funny.
Well, but once it gets the improved, if you do that 4 times in a turn, that's going to be
I do suppose
significant.
this you have the potential if you do that 4 times in a turn to push someone 60 feet.
Mhm.
That's what I was saying. You could push him off a
So
cliff.
there is that. That
Okay.
would just be annoying. It would do a
Yeah.
little bit of damage too, because it's 2d6 every time at that point, but
No. Level 15 over in 2014 land.
it is called Bulwark and and it is 15th level. It's not 17th level, so it's the same
Hmm.
trade-off. You can extend the benefit of your Indomitable feature to an ally. When you decide to use
Ah.
Indomitable to reroll an Intelligence, a Wisdom, or a Charisma saving throw and you aren't incapacitated, you can choose one ally within 60 feet of you that also failed its saving throw against the same effect. If that creature can see or hear you, it can reroll its saving throw and must use the new roll.
Good
So
in
this is just a
theory.
completely new class that like they
Yeah.
didn't even need to
Yeah.
call it the same thing.
The original
No.
Purple Dragon Knight was terrible. It was a
Yeah,
very
I
bad
know.
subclass.
No.
So it was a good idea for them to just be like, yup, let's just remake it entirely.
That feature is good in theory, but they put so many blockers on it, and I don't
Yes,
know why.
they should have just had it be you can extend its use to an ally whenever
Period.
you use it, because this
Yeah.
is a 15th level feature. And it shouldn't have been restricted to intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. It should have just been on any saving throw that you're using
Yep.
Indomitable on.
And maybe hot take, it shouldn't even be a creature that can see or hear you. I think
Yep,
it just happens.
yep.
Oh
That would
well.
have made it much better, but no, yeah, they put a lot of restrictions on it for like no reason, really.
Yep. Not allowed to have fun.
Nope.
Okay. Last one. Level 18. Enduring Commander. You and your purple dragon have resistance to force and psychic damage.
Yep.
That I dig, because not a lot of things have resistance to force, so then it gets used and you don't really have any defense against it.
You are special. They did say that.
It's
Yep.
true. It's fine. It's level 18 before
Hmm.
you get that far,
It's
and
just a little extra thing.
Yep.
yeah.
Kind of slap on there.
At that point, depending on how long your campaign goes on after level 18, you may never even encounter that. That may
Yep.
never help you, depending on what you fight.
Yep.
But it's fine.
I mean, it's all right.
Anything in 2014 for level 18?
Nope.
All right.
They end at 15. This one, massive improvement over the
Yes.
previous version. Much better. So, again, generally, like everything that ever happens with these, there's one thing that we're like, yeah, I like that.
I got
Just
1
why
out of
did it
3 for
have to
this
be
one.
inserted with the rest of it? Just
No, that's not bad. My one quibble is I don't know why the dragon has a -1 to intelligence because I thought dragons were supposed to be smart. But I guess if you have to dump a stat I think the stat arrangement for the purple dragon could have been arranged a little bit
I
better.
think they're
That
trying
was
to
my
do the
one
thing.
quibble.
They're trying to do the thing of like it's an animal companion, so like all animals, it has lower than humanoid
But
intelligence.
it's still a dragon.
So yeah, they're trying to be like for an animal, it's smart because an 8 in intelligence for an animal is smart. But yeah,
It's
no,
really stupid for a dragon.
dragons aren't supposed to be dumb.
No.
But at the same time, yeah, I could see how that could be a problem if you're like, this dragon has an 18 in intelligence. Your dragon companion has an 18 in intelligence. Then you just have the dragon make all the like intelligence checks everywhere you go. I mean,
Yeah, I'm just
because it can
talking
talk. So
like maybe even switch their intelligence and charisma so it was just a flat thing. Like I don't
Maybe.
know. Or like their wisdom maybe, because I mean it's not an old dragon, so it wouldn't be that wise yet. It is a
Yep.
baby, so that would make more sense for it to be +1 intelligence, -1 wisdom.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah.
Like I feel like that's probably a better setup, but that's really my only quibble with the actual dragon companion. I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
In theory, it would grow with you as it literally does in size, which would mean its stats would change over time.
True. It should probably get at least at the very least its strength should probably go up when it becomes large.
Yes.
But
But if we're gonna be honest, I mean this thing's not a dragon. Let's be
no,
real.
no, it's not.
This
No.
stat block is not a dragon
It's a
stat
large
block for
lizard.
real. Yeah, it's not very good.
It's a dragon dog.
If it were a real dragon, either as the baby or as the adult, it would be insanely overpowered compared to anyone in the party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
much throughout the
understand they
whole
had to balance
campaign.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
But it becomes the thing. If it fails its fantasy fulfillment, like it does for Jordan, it's too stupid, then it's not real and it's not good and it should go in the trash.
Well, like and again, I understand that they're trying to balance it because yes, if you give a player a dragon that's ridiculously overpowered and having it as a class feature, I just feel like they should have looked at the stats a little bit more carefully and tried to figure out how that balance would occur, because right now, to me, the arrangement of stats does not make sense.
Well, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Its stats really don't, except for its
I
strength.
know,
They don't do anything. And also, it doesn't talk. It has telepathy.
Well, yeah.
But
Yeah, so it can talk in your mind.
Mhm.
true, so long as it's whoever it's talking to understands the language you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. The only thing I've seen people
Definitely
complain
better than the
about
last two.
it's stronger and it sounds more like its name.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I saw people complain about the most online is that apparently in lore, Purple Dragon Knights aren't at all like this and don't have dragon partners.
No,
Then
not at
why
all.
is it called a purple dragon knight?
Because they serve purple dragons.
I will read what it says
less
for the old
interesting.
version. Purple Dragon Knights are warriors who hail from the kingdom of Cormyr. Pledged to protect the crown, they take the fight to evil beyond their kingdom's borders. They are tasked with wandering the lands as knight errants, relying on their judgment, bravery, and fidelity to the code of chivalry to guide them to defeating evildoers. A purple dragon knight inspires greatness in others by committing brave deeds in battle. The mere presence of a knight in a hamlet is enough to cause some orcs and bandits to seek easier prey. A lone knight is a skilled warrior, but a knight leading a band of allies can transform even the most poorly equipped militia into a ferocious warband. A knight prefers to lead through deeds, not words. As a knight spearheads an attack, the knight's actions can awaken reserves of courage and conviction in allies that they never suspected they had. That's what 2014 says about him.
Yeah, I would rather play How to Train Your Dragon.
There's like other classes that already do this thing. Of all the old fighter subclasses, they chose, let's bring back Purple Dragon
Because
Knight.
it's from Forgotten Realms.
Surely some of these other ones are as well. Wait, what did they bring back? Psy Warrior, Eldritch Knight Champion, Battlemaster. That's 2024. So Echo Knight, what's that one from?
That one's from
Critical Role.
Critical Role. Yep.
Honestly, bold thing, I think they should have brought Cavalier.
Cavalier was one of the better, besides Battlemaster, one of the better fighter subclasses. So, yeah.
Cavalier's all about mounted combat,
Yeah.
and it wasn't super great because mounted combat rules were interesting. And this
Yep.
would have been a great opportunity to fix that.
Flesh it out more.
But
knowing them, they would have dumbed it down more.
yeah.
They would have been like, we need to make this more simple. People clearly don't understand it because we made it too complicated. That's the problem.
Their
Yeah.
tiny little brains can't comprehend the rules.
No. If I had to guess, I bet this isn't going to make it to live servers, buddy. I don't think that one's gonna make it.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, this is a UA. I find it highly unlikely all of these are gonna make it to the final end here.
I think Knowledge Cleric probably will, just because that was a subclass for the cleric like forever in
Mhm.
5e.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think that will. I don't know about the Bard.
I don't think the Bard,
I
because there's so many other things that you can do with Bard as of current that are
yeah.
just that make more sense.
And we've got more to talk about, but we're probably gonna have to do it next time because this is
it's
Mhm.
true.
getting a long episode.
It's true.
So, any
Back in
final
it
closing
2025,
thoughts?
and we've reignited our blood feud with wizards.
Yeah.
It's
I
true.
don't even think it was reignited. I just think the flame didn't go out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
it
was just
carried.
it was just like low. The flame was we had it turned to low for a while and now we've just turned it back up to
Yep.
high.
I have one brief thing to say. Perhaps I should save it for later, but I've seen people having discourse online lately that's making me upset. They're saying that people hate wizards unfairly and they should stop being so judgmental towards wizards. Um,
Oh, now Wizards is sicking their fanboys on us.
exactly. The
I'll
bootlickers are
make
coming out.
I'll
This,
make you a deal. I'll stop making fun of wizards when they start writing better
that's
crap.
what I was about to say is I'll stop being mean when they give me what they're
When they do
employed
their
for.
job, or when they
When they,
hire us. When they hire us, then we'll
Mm.
stop being mean.
yeah.
What's crazy to me is
Actually, I don't
like,
know if I would stop being mean if they hire me. I think
no.
I would be mean until the people who are doing a bad job were not in the company anymore. I
Valid,
think.
yes, yes.
The thing that kills me is after all the mistakes Wizards has made in the last 3 years alone, we're really gonna sit here and be like, guys, quit being mean to the giant corporation.
Yep. Leave the giant corporation alone.
Yeah. I mean, there was the whole thing with the, what was that called? It was the intelligence property rights where they were gonna commandeer all homebrew material forever.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
I
everyone got
forget what that
mad.
was called. Because
Did
that was
we
a really
forget
bad
about that? Because
It
it
idea.
was
was.
They
horrible.
did.
And people were
And then they
so
backed
mad.
down.
And
And then
then
there
there
was the stuff
was,
with the what was it? The oh gosh. It was in a similar vein. It was the what's it called? It's the thing as to why like other tabletop RPGs can use stuff that's similar to D&D without basically
Fair
getting
use.
copyright struck by them. But there was a specific term that it was called though.
I know what you're
oh,
talking about,
It
but
was
I
the
can't think
buzzword.
of.
It was the
Yeah.
big buzzword when it was happening.
mm,
I don't remember. It's like a little clause though that they have in like their PHB and stuff that
Mhm.
you can read. That was a big thing because that was when the big boycott happened was because of that, where everyone was
yes.
like, "Don't use Wizards stuff anymore because they're a bad company that's being mean." And yeah, well, that's back when Wizards was being mean, and everyone was okay with uh us dogging on Wizards for being mean.
Hmm.
Um,
So yes, we will continue to bully wizards because they
yeah.
deserve it. Start making better stuff
We
for
will
your
continue to
game.
bully wizards because it's been proven by wizards that when you don't,
Yes,
they
somebody's got
do
to keep them in
stupid
check.
stuff and get greedy. And
It's true. And even placing their like business practices aside, their content is what we are mean about mostly.
True.
Uh,
we haven't even joined in on the controversy stuff because I
No,
remember
we
every
did for
time that stuff
one.
happened,
mm,
because every time something happens, this is a peek behind the curtain, but we always weigh our options and we're like, should we weigh in on this? Probably not. Because like everyone already has their opinions.
And at a certain
And
point, there's just not more that needs to be. So, like, it's already
yeah,
been said succinctly and
hmm.
effectively, and us going like, "Yeah, guys, is it gonna help?" Like,
which is to say, we could rag on wizards even more than we already do, but like
true.
Pertuset said, we pretty much just attack them for their game design because we think that it hasn't been good recently.
Yeah. I maintain the fact the biggest problem they've committed, well, that copyright thing was pretty bad, but
The copyright thing was really bad.
even putting their business practice aside, their biggest mistake is that it took them 10 years. And if let's be generous, it probably took them 4 years from their last book release. When was Fizzbands?
Oh,
Was that like
I don't
2020?
let
remember.
me look. I own it, so I can see. 1 second, let me go to it.
The point is, they had years, and if Fizzbands was their last one, they probably knew they were going to start working on 5.5e. They had lots of time to come up with something new,
Mhm.
and they've botched it here, there, and everywhere. So I'm going to criticize them for that. I
Yeah.
criticize the author because their book is bad, not because the author, I don't know.
It came out
Where's to the
in
moon?
October 26th of 2021.
So they had like 3.5 years.
Yep.
So yeah,
They
Oh.
deserve criticism.
go sing me a tale of gloom if you think otherwise.
And also, it's not just I would feel perhaps different to those laments if it was just us being like, yeah, Wizards has made mistakes and they're bad and here's why. But it's not. The vast majority of the D&D community has been saying for a while now, they've been like, man, Wizards, you gotta get your act together.
True. And the final thing I will say, I swear about this, we're the only real ones. Put on your aluminum hats, everybody. We're the only ones here that actually talk about the design of the classes and bring it to you straight and real. Everybody else that covers this stuff will read the Moonshae folktales and be like, that's really strong. That's so broken. Bard is broke. Oh wait, it's the Bard. Never mind. The Bard is really weak, so this is gonna help them out a lot. Everybody else in this community is stupid, and I've said it and I'll say it again.
Only we know the truth, and only we can supply it to you.
And this is how we get canceled.
Hansel, no, I'm gonna kill that lady.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed the episode you just listened to. If you really like our content, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on YouTube, and look for us on Spotify. If you'd like to see us continuing to do more fun projects in the future, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can find our page linked in the description above all of our other social media links. And finally, if you'd like to keep up with the zany shenanigans of our lives and check out some more skit-based content and things like that, check us out on Twitter and TikTok, links in the description. And hey, thanks!